Hey, everybody. It is Becky, Will, and John here to talk to you again about all things PPC. Here at StubGroup, we manage Google Ads. Everybody knows we manage Google Ads, but we also really love managing the Microsoft network. And I think a lot of times people don't understand how much value that there is on that side of things, or even what the Microsoft network is. What does it mean when you're running ads on Microsoft? Today I was talking to a lead that was spending $45,000 a month on Microsoft and wasn't even really sure how much they wanted to spend on Google because Microsoft was performing so well for them. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to kind of chat through what you guys are seeing with our current clients on Microsoft, where it's working, where it's not working, tools that exist that are beneficial for those clients that we use both on Microsoft and even on Google. So what is the good, the bad, and the ugly that you guys are seeing currently on Microsoft?
Yeah, Microsoft is often seen as the ugly redheaded stepchild next to Google, but there are opportunities there that we like to leverage when they're available that aren't only available on Google. So I still recommend in most cases that clients, especially if they're limited by budget, start their search campaigns on Google, and then if we're maxing out market share and impression share on Google, then begin testing with any additional budget on Microsoft. Most cases not going to say start on Microsoft unless there's other circumstances that would play into that. I will caveat all that to say right now with many of our accounts, we're seeing performance issues on Microsoft, whether that's related to traffic quality or conversion rates. So just keeping that in mind, oftentimes the traffic is cheaper on Microsoft because there can be, depending on the industry and vertical that you're in, there can be a lot less competition than on Google. And so you get the benefit of that with cheaper cost per clicks, things of that nature. So oftentimes people will kind of set it and forget it with Microsoft, where they'll import their campaigns from Google into Microsoft and just leave it as is. They won't necessarily optimize it separately, but you really do need to optimize the traffic and the campaigns that you're managing on Microsoft separately from Google, and not just assume that it's going to work the same way. Audiences are going to interact differently. The traffic's going to interact differently. The devices that they're finding you on Microsoft versus Google are different. And so just keep that all in mind as you're managing things there. There are some opportunities that we like to leverage on Microsoft that aren't available on Google. So one of those is multimedia ads. So this is actually a unique ad type that you can add to your Microsoft campaigns and ad groups. And only one of those ads is going to be eligible to show on the search engine results page on Bing, or where your ads are showing up. So there's an opportunity for you to incorporate creative assets, images in particular, that are going to capture the whole right side portion of the SERPs there. And so making sure you build that out, you're eligible to show those ads and not relying only on text ads is going to be important. And we can share a link to that as well. So multimedia ads is great. That's an option there that you don't have on Google. Another option is going to be the fact that there are some additional targeting options on Microsoft. So you can actually set up LinkedIn-based targeting. So company, industry, even job type, you can set that up as an audience to target within a campaign, and you can really leverage that differently than you can on Google. So there are opportunities there that even if you're doing LinkedIn advertising as well, this is another way that you can maximize your results on Microsoft depending on the industry that you're in, who you're wanting to get in front of, and who the primary user is that's looking for you. Probably the third thing I would mention that's not unique, you don't have to be using Microsoft Ads to take advantage of this, but it's a free tool that Microsoft makes available called Clarity. Similar to analytics in that you set it up as a code on the back end of your site, and it's going to show you information of how users are interacting with your landing pages, your website, where they're coming in, how they're interacting. You can look at heat maps, where they're spending time, what they're looking at, what their cursor is hovering over. You can even look at session recordings and get valuable insights into maybe there are links on your pages that are dead, or people are getting frustrated with different portions of your website. Maybe they're spending time looking at things on your website that you didn't think were important but are important to them. And so there's a lot of really actionable items that you can take advantage of there. And that's a free tool. Even if you're not using Microsoft Ads, you can leverage that whether you're running ads at all. You could just do that for your organic traffic and see the benefit there. So those are three things that I like to maximize from Microsoft side of things, depending on the options there. But John, are you seeing anything like that? Have you seen other things that we should take advantage of or are taking advantage of for certain clients?
Yeah, similar to what you mentioned, definitely seeing some clients, some accounts where Microsoft is struggling more right now than it used to. And we've had some clients where we've actually pulled back ad spend for the time being from Microsoft because it's just not converting the way it needs to, not getting the cost per conversions that we need. Other accounts where that's not the case, I'm not saying it's across the board, but definitely seems to be some struggles right now. I would say two things that are helpful to look at if you are running Microsoft advertising campaigns is, first of all, the search partners network that Microsoft has. I've seen a lot of situations with just really trashy traffic coming from the search partners network. Again, I'm not going to say you should always necessarily exclude it, but a lot of the time you should consider excluding it. I've seen a lot of problems there. So just, segment out your campaigns and look and see how much of your traffic's coming from there, especially if you're seeing big changes month over month in things like average cost per click or just click volume, click-through rate. Often those will be impacted by search partners. So check that out. And then, like you mentioned, Will, earlier, audiences are different to some extent on Microsoft versus on Google. A big player in that is that Microsoft just has very little impression share on mobile devices. So most of the traffic from Microsoft is coming from people who are on their computers, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. It really depends upon your business and whether you're trying to get people as they're out and about on their phones, or if you're getting them when they're on their computers, or if it doesn't make a difference. So another thing to evaluate when you're comparing performance from Microsoft versus a platform like Google. So yeah, at the end of the day, definitely a channel that's worth looking at, exploring, something that we consider for most of our clients. Sometimes we recommend, hey, let's do it as an expansion. Sometimes we say it's not a good fit. Sometimes we say, let's test it out. It might work, might not. But if you are watching this and you're running Microsoft, or you're wondering if you should run Microsoft, or you're just looking to make more money online through digital advertising, we'd love to chat with you. Just reach out through our website, StubGroup.com, and tap that subscribe button to get more content just like this in your feed. Until next time, this is John, Will, and Becky signing off.